Hello, good morning, everyone. So before I start, let me check a few things with you. Can you all hear my audio clearly? Everybody can hear? Everything is fine? That's good. How about the screen? Can you see the screen that I shared? All right, that's good. Right, for those that want to have, you want to look at the slides yet, I provide you with a link. You just click the link and you can see the slides. Right? But it's a very simple slide, but I will go through demonstration during the webinar. Right? You can just view the slides for some rough idea. Right? So, just some ice breaking. How many of you have, how to say, have been experienced HTML, CSS before? Oh, okay, that's good. So this will be very basic. Do not worry that it's very advanced programming. No, I will introduce you very basic HTML, CSS or JavaScript. Okay, fundamental is good enough. That is very good enough. So don't worry, very brief, so that you have a rough idea the tools available for data science related development project and things like that. Right, and also please help please help Lee Siu Yun to fill up or sign in your link also. All right, great. All right, I think I'm ready to start. So again, good morning, everyone. So welcome to the webinar series. All right, so last week, I don't know whether some of you came to my webinar last week. How many of you came to my webinar last week? Is it? I don't know, because Canis looks familiar. Yes. Okay. So last week I was introducing R. Okay, and then you might notice that R data wrangling and then visualization also. But now I'm gonna introduce you simple visualization, but it's more to using JavaScript. All right. So if you look at the slide, okay, so you just open the link and you can view the slides. Okay. So just for information, I developed the slide using the R Studio also. All right. Those from my class, I think they know how to develop this slide. All right. So if you want to operate the slide, you need to press the up and left and right arrow key, right, to move the slides. All right. So you need to press left and right key to move the slides It won't. Okay. So again, if for those that already came to my webinar last week, I think no problem for this is the first time, I'll do a quick introduction about myself. So these are the two links that you can know about me. So my personal website. So currently I'm attached to Department of Computer Science, Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman, Kampa campus. All right. So I work there. Okay, so I'm actually assistant professor. What I'm currently doing is I'm currently teaching data science subject. All right, so what is data science subject? And all these webinars that I'm introducing to you is about data science related tools. Right, we have theories and then we have tools. All right, so let's, you can just look at it. Okay, some of the materials I discussed last week is available in this link also. All right, okay, that's good. And again, the second is okay, this one is optional up to you. Okay, so some of the things that I produce, content related to this, I will share in my YouTube channel. All right, so if you're interested, even about the last week webinar, you can actually have access. Okay, the game one you don't see now. Okay, so you can have access to all the materials involving theories of data science, theories of probability and statistics, and some tools like, for example, how to use Google Colab. Last week I introduced you R Studio. All right, that's good. So if you want to know more, you can just go to my YouTube channel and maybe you can view some of the videos I created related to this. All right. Okay, that's all about me. Let's go to the content for today. All right, why data visualization? Why data visualization is such important thing? So I spell visualization with Z. Some can be S as well. Okay, so if your website or application It's data intensive. I like website with a lot of charts, not with a lot of text. Depends lah. Like you are creating a dashboard. Still remember nowadays you're going to see a lot of COVID 19 dashboard, right? So what are the tools? And you're planning, then you will need to find or you need to decide which tool are suitable for you to build this visualization. For example, in R, we have ggplot, and then we go to R Shiny. In Python, we have Seaborn or Matplotlib. Then you can deploy using Flask and things like that, or Plotly, right? So using charts will make your website easier to understand and visually more appealing. So don't worry, if you have any question, just post in the chat section here. I'll try my best to answer your messages. And again, I mute the audio because I want to avoid the echo. So whatever you want to ask me, just put in the chat section there. All right. So why Chart.js? Okay. So I don't know. This is very subjective, but I feel those that starting for beginner, it is very easy for you to learn, very fast for you to adapt and implement in whatever current project you're actually using. It is simple, but what is fun is it's actually extremely customizable. So you can actually customize based on your need very quickly. All right. And again, Chart.js is maintained by open source community. So you're gonna have a very good or currently based on current standard kind of functions. All right. So what you need, all right, so I'll be quick with it. What you need is HTML, CSS, all right, and also JavaScript. These are the three, can I call this a technology or tool that will be involved with? Because I'm going to develop a website for today example as a demo. So I need these three. CSS is optional, but anyway, I'll just show you. But HTML and the JavaScript is going to be the main one, right? And another thing that I need is Atom or Visual Studio Code. Right? Very simple, or you want to use Notepad++ also is no problem. You can do that. Okay, but for now today, I will use Visual Studio Code. Okay, you want to use Atom also no problem. Can also, but today demo I'm just using Visual Studio Code lah. All right. Okay, step one. Okay, let's start this. So these slides are available, so you can just check by yourself. So now, let me open a Visual Studio Code for you. All right, so file, new window. All right, so for those, this is the first time. So this is how a simple interface of a Visual Studio Code will look like. Okay, this is how a simple interface of a Visual Studio Code. So I recommend for beginner, you can try Visual Studio Code or even Atom. So for me, both works well for your beginner kind of learning, right? So what can you do here is you go to file, all right, open folder. So make sure you have created a folder. So I just created a very simple folder there. What is that I created? Example, okay, example Chart.js. All right, fine. Right, so make sure you set or link your Visual Studio Code to the working directory. So this is very important. Most of the error I see those students that following the online tutorial, you just quickly type the code and then cannot run. So make sure it's your working directory lah. All right, so what I need, if you look at my slides, okay, the first thing is I need 3 files. Main is 2 files, that is HTML. So let's go here, file, new file, right? File, then we save as, let's say is an example chart. Okay, I put there as index. Okay lah, famous name, right? Index, and then I save as HTML, right? And then I save. Right. So this is the first file that I need, index.html. Right, if CSS is optional, but anyway, for today's example, I just use in CSS, so that if you are interested, you can just you can just design based on your need. Correct? So let's say go to file, again a new file. Let's say file, save as. I put here styles, STYLES. Okay, I use styles. All right, and then CSS, where is CSS? Okay. All right, save. All right, for CSS, I'm not going to go very detail on this, but I already have some basic CSS already designed for today example. So, but don't worry about the CSS file here. All right. I'm not going to. So, for example, I designed some very simple font size for header 1 and also header 2. All right, and then I'll make sure it's wrapped in the font size. So, this part you don't worry that much actually. All right, this part you do not worry that much. But the main thing is I want to focus on your index.html. And then the third file you need to create is your JavaScript. Right? So you go file, you go to new file again, and then you go file, save as. You might have your own way to do so. Either you can follow me or you have a different way to create this new file. You are surely welcome to do that. And where is my JavaScript? Where is it? Then I just put script lah. Right, and then I just save. Right, so I have three files now. Did you notice that or not? I have index, I have my JavaScript, and also I have my, what do you call that, CSS. CSS is optional, all right? So let's go to our main point, that is index and also the HTML. So for now, let's create our first basic website. Okay, so first let's decide on the, okay. Okay, are you all, I think, let me enlarge a bit. Okay, I think you can see better, right? Okay, I enlarge a bit. So let's decide on this. Let me create an HTML file. All right. Then close. All right, so let me see. Right, this is fine for now. And then I need a head. Okay, so inside the head. So if you look at the slides, okay, so the second part, okay, I will show you how to link to the Chart.js CDN lah. Okay, you're going to see CDN, what is CDN later, but for now, let's just create a rough skeleton of a website first, all right? So let's do that. And I want to show you how to link also. Let's create a basic website. So for today's example, if you notice, I want to create a simple website. I want to create a simple website about Malaysia, COVID-19. So COVID-19. Right. So I want to, today my plan is to create a simple website about COVID-19 cases in Malaysia, but in a visualization lah. Okay. So first I have a title. Okay, this is the part. If you look at the slides, my current slide will be on page. Okay. Right. All right. So if you see it here, let me see. Okay. So you're gonna have title Malaysia COVID-19. All right. So now let's create the first thing. So we're gonna create a script. This is where you're gonna link to your the CDN that I mentioned. So if you look at my slides, okay. So if you look at my slides, so if you click here, so you're gonna have access to this. All right, so we're going to use this. This is something provided by the open source community. So there you have two ways to use Chart.js. Either you install it. So today I'm not going to show you how to install it, but I will show you how to link this, okay, to the CDN. All right, and then we can just use all the features or function available there. So you just need to have the latest version, the link here if you can see. So you just copy paste and then you can actually use it. All right, so let's try to see how to link it here. So we go hit, go script. Yeah, we go script and we go src. Okay, and then we link to, let's say, so you try to copy paste. So if you see here, inside here, you need to provide the link. So if you see from my the CDN, so what you need to do is just need to provide this link here lah. Okay, you just need to provide this link here. Okay, so you just, if you see this in the slide, you just copy paste this and then you just paste it there. Okay, so never mind, we continue back with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy paste that. Yep. Okay, I'm going to copy paste that here, the link. Okay, we can use the latest one lah. And then what I'm going to do, let's close this. Okay, nice. No, that's why I like to use all this studio code. See, it helps me a lot. All right. So now what I need to do is I just what else? Okay, maybe because I have a CSS file. Okay, I have a CSS file if you notice. So I link to my CSS file. Okay, link to my CSS file. Okay, I can do that. Link rel, and then I just put here. You can just use shit, right? And then I use type. What type? I just use text CSS. Right, and then I have finally the link that is sty start.css. Right, I have that. Okay, that's good. So done. Right, can you see? The first thing you need to do in the head, first link to the chart. Okay, this is what I mean in the slide. Link to the Chart.js. Okay, for this is for those want to use the link CDN. Okay, for those that already install this, then it's a different. Okay, this is only for you want to, and then if you have an optional CSS, then you link it. All this is done inside the head. All right, now we go to the second one where we create the body. Okay, let's create the body now. You go here and then we create the body. Okay, so inside the body, I create the div. For those already having your Visual Studio Code, then you can just open and try this lah. Alright, the code I will provide in my GitHub later. Then you can just play around with this. Okay. But now you can just, if you watching also is fine. If you want to follow with me also fine. No worries. So div, let's say I create a class. Have a all right. So now I have H, because I already created a CSS for H1. If you notice this, so it will follow that lah. So H1 I have, let's say Malaysia COVID, right? 19, let's say cases. Right? Malaysia COVID-19 cases. If you look at it, okay now. So everybody okay for now? All right, that's good. Any question for now? Not yet. All right, good. So you create the cases first. Let's say I just close finish. Oops. Then I create you know, it's still optional, and I just quickly show you. I can see a simple. Okay, later I'm planning to show you a line chart. So maybe I can see a simple line chart using chart. Yes. Right. So very simple, very simple. Right. So can you see, you know, inside the body, I create a header, Malaysia COVID-19, the title for my chart, and then another subtitle. You can assume that. Okay. Now I want to notice the important part here. This is where the Chart.js actually come. Two important things. First, connect, because it's supposed to know where it will get or the Chart.js kind of functions. The second is you need to create. So if you look at my slides, if you refer back to my slides, you can actually go to the next slide. Okay, so this is where, so now we are going to do our step 2. We are going to prepare a place. If you see there, we are going to prepare a place, the HTML, to render the chart. So you need to create a canvas. Okay, so if you look at it now, I'm going to create a canvas or adding a canvas element. And inside the canvas, I decide how big or how small my chart is supposed to be. All right, so let's go to step 2 now. So very easy. I try to simplify this process with few steps. So we go to step 2. All right, so let's create canvas. Okay, just for you. Canvas is there. Can you see it? Canvas is there because you already linked them. Okay, ID. Because for now, we never create anything in our JavaScript yet. So for now, I just put it nothing yet. Okay, let's leave it empty. Later, we need to fill up this part. I create, a width. Let's say 1600 pixel, and then we have an height. I have 900. Okay, I have a 900, and then I just close the canvas. All right. So the ID part here, I leave it blank for now. Later, I'll fill it up. Okay, you need to know how to connect the ID then. All right. And finally, already closed the div, and yes. Now after inside the body, all right, inside the body, now we need to link to our script, JavaScript file that we created. All right. So we just use the script again. All right, and then now the source is gonna be just now we created script. All right, script.js. It's available there, and then we just close it. Done. Okay, done. That's it. Can you see or not? This is the basics of your HTML file. First, you need to link the script JavaScript that you have created. Then you have to link to the CDN. The rest, I think, if you have a HTML background, I think this is normal lah. Okay, this will be normal. So let's see. I'm not sure. Let's see whether we can see anything yet. So I use an extension called Live Share. Okay, Live Server. So there are a few extensions in Studio Code that you can use, but Live Server is fine lah. Okay, for those that's really new in here, then you just chat with me. I'll help you to show how you can have your live server. It's just an extension. So you just open with live server. Let's see. Okay, we have something. Can you see this or not? Can you see? So, but the thing is, you don't have a chart here. You just created an HTML file, okay, with a title, with a subtitle, but nothing there. It's empty canvas. Because why? If you see the code just now, if you see the code just now, I didn't create the JavaScript yet. I just created a canvas so that we can actually visualize later. All right, so that's it. Can you see? Not that difficult. So do not worry if you see a lot of so many new code. So don't worry. It's always can start small, then we can actually push it more and more and more, and make it very complex. All right. So now, if you look at my slides, let's refer back to my slides. All right. So step 1 is done. Step 2 is done. Let's go to the step 3. This is where, okay, when it's data visualization, remember data is important. So you need to have a data. So step 3 is the one that I'm going to introduce you how we're going to prepare the data for our today demonstration. All right. So I want you to notice that I get the data from here. Like if you see the link here, you can have access to the data. Correct. So it's a John Hopkins COVID-19 data, very well-known source of data for COVID-19 cases. Right. So I'm extracted from that. All right. So now the step 3 is let's prepare the data. Okay, let's do it. We go to script. All right, so you go to the JavaScript there and let's try to prepare the data. So the first thing you need to do is, okay, what I'm showing you is very basic, very fundamental. I'm not going to say this is the most efficient way, but it's very fundamental so that it can help you to understand the whole environment of this. So what I'm going to do is first, I want to create, let's say, all right, so I can create all right, good. So labels along X axis. So it's still a manual process, lah, but it's okay. You're gonna see it's very nice. Later you're gonna see it's very nicely designed. Okay, I'm gonna create, because just now as I told you before, I wanna create a line chart, okay, with X and also with Y. So let's create a simple labels, all right, for X axis. So since this is a COVID cases, I'm planning to design or render a chart or time series data. Very simple one. So first I want to create, let's say war day lah. Okay, so this is something I already did lah, I already expected. Let's create our data set first. Okay, let's create our data set first. So let's see, let me get the data set. Okay, I already created this in my notepad, so I just use this lah. Okay, so I created a simple x-axis. Okay, this is the date. All right, so I can say it's date lah. Okay, so I create a date for 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6. This is on March 2020. Because I choose this, because if you see that particular week, the cases really increase a lot. So you can see a very nice chart. Like if it's a very flat line, then you know can't see that much, right? So I simply randomly, like, to be honest, random sampling. Okay, so I just choose this particular sequence of date. Right, so now you already decided on your x-axis. Now let's draw the line. So now let's draw the line. So in order to draw the line, let's see, for drawing the line. So let's draw the lines. Okay, let's see, do you have any question before that? Okay, good. Is there any question for now? All right, not yet. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's continue back with here. So let's draw the line. So in order for me to draw the lines, again, I need a data set. So I break the data set for confirmed. I just say confirm now. Okay, this is the, but it's supposed to be, you know, you can imagine, right, how it's going to look like in your Excel, right? Right, or as a comma separated value. So I just created all these things, okay? But you can just follow lah, because I just want to show you this. So I created three, okay, data here. So one is confirm, one is recovered, one is dead. So I think if you have recently, if you are like, you know, following the COVID cases, these are the three types they always have. Confirmed cases, those that recovered, those that dead. Only three types of numbers or variables that you're going to have. So I'm going to create a three different line for each of these. So first I have a data. Okay, don't worry, and this particular number where I get this from, you can check the link that I provided. All right, so that is like huge data set. I just extract very simple so that it's easier for you to see in the beginning level. Okay, all right, let's go to our main part here. Now is the part where we want to do our chart.js. First, create ptx. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use document. Okay, let me just show you document. I think I just get element by ID. So we just use get element by ID, and here we put my chart. Right, and then we close it. So can you see, you know, my chart here? So I just put simple my chart. So this is how you're gonna link. Sorry, this is how you're gonna link to your index. So here your ID is gonna be my chart. If you look at this carefully, all right. So this is how you link this. Can you see? So make sure your canvas ID here is the ID that you use here. All right, is the ID that you use here. So now let's create our line chart itself. Let's create, oops, how I spell my chart. It's spelling correct. So okay, my chart. All right. So let's create my chart. So my chart gonna be new chart. All right. So I'm gonna create a line. So let's say I put CTX is the one that I created. Can you see? All right. So I use CTX, and then let's see. We do one by one lah. We do one by one. Don't worry. All right. So the first thing is we're going to do is the type that we're going to use. All right. So let's go back to our slides. Let's go back to our slides. If you look at here, so I already prepare the step 3 is done. Okay. So you already prepare a data. So this is not the only way. This is the most basic way lah, that you can have an idea how data look like in JavaScript, correct? So the fourth step is I just want to share with you in Chart.js there are line, bar, radar. Okay, radar is similar to those UTAR student nowadays. You have ICGPA, right? The spider web thing, right? That is radar. Then you have pie chart, area chart, bubble chart, and the most of you like to use is scatter plot or scatter chart. Here we try to be consistent with our name lah. We call chart, we got graph, we got what else we call plot. Okay, just call chart lah. So these are the types of charts available in Chart.js. Okay, for today demonstration, I'm planning to do a simple line chart for COVID-19 cases in Malaysia. Correct? So let's go back to our demo. So let's just say type. I'm gonna create. Oops. I create line now. Right, and then use comma. So now let's connect to our data here. Right, let's connect to our data. Okay. So the bracket part, you don't worry that much. So now inside the data, first I need the labels. Okay, the labels that I use, still remember, it's date. Okay, it's date. Date is the one I'm going to use. Is it correct? Yes, correct. Date. Then I put comma. Then I'm going to have my data sets. Inside my data set is the one I'm going to design. Okay, so let's start a curly bracket. Okay. Okay, let's try to do it now. So I create the labels, that is going to be my date. All right, and then I create a data set for this particular labels. Right, so we have few ways to do that. The first thing is let's data. I'm just going to use confirmed. You see, remember this one. Okay, confirm. Then I just close this. All right. Okay, so let's keep on doing this. Okay, let's close this guy here. See the brackets. All right, so one bracket for this is enough. Then I need to have a bracket for this. All right, this for this, this for this. All right, so we have data confirmed. Okay, and then we need to have, okay, 1, 2, 3. I always have these brackets. Now I think the backer source is fine. All right. So basically, that's all you need to do for you to create your first basic line chart here. So I just have a data here. Okay, I link to this confirm, but I already put here that the type that I want is line. If you look at this carefully, the type that I want is line. So let's see anything happen or not in our. So let's go back here, open live server. Jeng jeng. All right. So this will be your first line chart generated. Okay. Can you see or not? Yeah. No worries. I think you for Chung Sud Yi, I think you can still sign in later when the link is provided. All right. So any other question? All right, good. So can you see or not? This is going to be my first basic chart that I'm going to use. A simple line chart, but if you look at it, it's actually tak cantik. Okay, right? Correct or not? So if you ever design a visualization, always remember some of the famous people like Tufte, they all have said that, visualization is supposed to be appealing, supposed to be capturing the main point without losing the information. You can't make it too chanted, then nobody understand what is happening. And if it's not appealing, also people won't be. Yeah, the line chart is appear in the Google. Yeah, sorry, Kenis, can you I do not understand your question, Kenis. Can you repeat again your question? I mean, the line chart is shown in the Google link. Yes, but no, this is a website. I don't think so. You'll have a link yet. This is only in my local host. Uh, Unless you have a hosting like the website. If you see, look at my website. If you go back and if you check out my website, right? So this something is hosted. So I have a link. Can you see that term domain? So I have a link, then I can actually host it. So this is something we learn in computer science program, how to set up your own website. All right, how to IP networking, hosting services. This goes to the website development kind of area. Okay, so mine, if you see, is just localhost. Later, you can deploy this. Okay, Canis, later you can deploy this if you have web hosting services, then you can actually deploy this. So let's say you want to develop your own COVID-19 monitoring system. Wow, you'll be very famous. But you can just develop a basic website like this and try to host now. But the thing is, hosting sometimes costs you money, right? So free hosting will come with advertisement. So up to you lah. So many other things. Okay, are you okay, Kenis? All right, Kenis is clear. All right. So now if you see, I have a basic chart like this. So let's cantikkan this chart. Let's make it more interactive or more useful. All right. So we go back here. So I think for now I can actually work side to side lah. Okay, I can actually work side to side. So let's make it better. Like this. So I want to show you side to side. I want to show you how to actually make it more cantik. I really like the word cantik lah. So let's go back here. So now let's add more features. So you can just add comma here. Okay, you can add label. Let's add label. For those that coming, you have experience with ggplot and things like that, then you might see that this is useful for you. All right, label, and then I say confirmed. Oops. Confirmed cases. All right, just save this. And now you see I have a label here, confirmed cases. If you look at it, can you see now? So now you have a link for confirmed cases. Right, so now let's add what else we need. Oh, maybe we can add color. Okay, we can add color because whatever you're seeing here is a basic by default line chart. So you still need to customize based on your whatever design requirement you have. So we relabel, then we can choose a border color, border, okay, border color. Then I can choose, okay, border color, you need to use HTML color code. So you just go Google HTML color code, then you can actually have so many options of color lah. Alright, so okay, you just search your HTML color code. For now, I just simply put a color here, the code, and then let's see what happens now. Okay, I have a color now. Okay, I have a color now. Nice again. Better. I really like this kind of interactive or appealing kind of visualization, and Chart.js can do all these things. Very interactive, very nice. And then if you go hover on top of the dot, you can see the data itself. Can you see? If I go on top, okay, if I go on top, I can see the amount or the data itself. Very interactive. And it's easy. Can you see? I deploy all these things within like few steps. The fundamental one lah. But let's say you want to improve this, there are so many other things you can do. But for university student or first year student, this will be a very good introduction for you to explore more. All right, so we just, you can see lah. And then this gray area here, you feel like yo tak payah lah, no need, it looks a bit weird. Okay, let's remove this. So here, let's just say false, right? And then save. Then you have this line. This will be your first line, and this is a true data lah. This is not a tipu data lah. I mean, this is the real data. So I think I expected from 16 March to 26 March. Okay, let's just Malaysia COVID-19 cases. March. Right. So Malaysia COVID-19 cases for March 2020. So I just extract lah. Alright, so let's go back to our script.js. Okay, now you might question, okay sir, why you have created 3 data set here. You have confirmed, you have recovered, you have that. But I can see only one line. Okay, now let's see how to improve our chart to include few lines together. But that is what the main objective, right? You don't want to have like this only, right? Very simple. So let's try to increase the complexness, okay, of your chart. So you just add a comma here. Right, we go here, you add a comma here, and then we just add another. You just can follow the same style I follow. You just copy all this thing, paste here again, but make sure you separate it with a comma. If not, it will show error. But now, from confirm, let's change this to recovered. Okay, from confirm, I take a new data called recovered. Okay, see what happened now. Control S. Okay, now you have 2 lines, but something wrong. Okay, when you have few lines, the most important thing is you need to have a different color to differentiate them. Can you see or not? And look at the label, so they look the same. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me answer a few questions first. Canis, every color has their own code. Correct. So if you look at it, let me just quickly show you. I can just. I quickly try to answer Kenny's code. Very fast one. All right, so we just, if you see this, can you see this web page, Kenny? So this is HTML color code. Right, you can just Google search. So many out there. And if you see here, you have green. Can you see? So if you choose any color from this spectrum, can you see the code, hex code here? So you just copy paste that. So you just copy paste this code inside the color that you actually 1. Can you see this color code here? Okay, all right. Okay, and good. So, Kayanku, what's the difference between HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? Still confused which to use for which? Okay, so let me explain to Kayanku. Okay, very simple, Kayanku. Let me show you. Uh, see, where is it? Where is it? All right, so go here. All right, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All right, there is 3 important technology in website development. Okay, later you're gonna see so many like PHP or so many other tools might be coming, but for fundamental, and this is the first time you are learning this. This 3 is very important for you to develop a website. Okay, all right. If you see the star, okay, without the star, the website still works, but style is needed because of this style. Okay, because of this star. You see this H1 here, I can decide how big or small my H1. Let's say, for example, I change this to 400. Sorry, not the width. Let's see, I change the height into 4. Okay, look at this carefully, Kayanku. Can you see I change the H1 font size to 4? What is H1 now? I go back to my HTML. Look at my H1 now. H1 is Malaysia code. So HTML is a markup language, right? It does all these text, but it cannot generate a visualization like this. So that's why you need to have JavaScript. So let's say I change that, I save now, right? So, oops. Can you see the size of my H1 improve? Can you see now? So style is all about, like just how in Microsoft Word, you increase the size of your font, decrease the size of, but it doesn't generate or degenerate the graph. Okay, I think in short, very simple explanation, Kai and Ku. All right, is it okay for you? So let me continue this for now. So recovered. So recovered. So I just quickly change this to recovered. And I want to change this into a different color also lah. Because same color doesn't mean anything, correct or not? Let's make it fancy a bit. And we change our color. All right, so let's save this. Voila. Can you see? Now a better looking graph. Right. So whenever a viewer want to learn more, whenever they look at the graph, it's supposed to be appealing and you can get the information. All right. And let's try to add last one. Just add comma and curly bracket. And then the last one, let me just quickly do for you. The data, the last one, what I have is debt. Okay, I have debt. Let me just sound so bad about that. Can you see this? All right. Okay, good. So the last one is that. Let's just change this into that. So I put here that cases. And let me give you recovered cases. All right. Oh, I need to have this HTML. Okay, everybody, what color looks nice? Okay, let me choose yellow lah. I don't know. Okay, let me just use yellow. So this is the code that I need. I copy this code, and then I just say that. It doesn't mean anything. I just randomly chosen color. Okay, and then I just save. Voila, we have 3 colors. But the thing is, there are a lot of other factors that you need to look into lah. Okay, there are a lot of other factors that you need to look into. For example, the scale. If you look at this visualization, because the yellow looks like a straight line, because you try to fit 3 charts that have different scale, then it's going to look weird lah. For example, in order to avoid that, okay, you have some interactivity with this. If you look at these cases, recovered cases, so I'm just interested to look at my dead cases. So I don't want to look at my conforms. I can just remove and I can remove. Can you see? So this is quite important. Like this is what I teach to my students in data science class, like scaling. Why can't you fit all the graph together? Because you see, I'm just looking at my dead cases. I have a better visualization by combining all three of them like this. Do you agree? So if you look at this, whenever you present to your boss or to your supervisor or to your customer, client, so the yellow looks like a straight line. Correct or not? So you can't see a lot of story. Okay, let me answer Kayanku. HTML no. HTML doesn't handle the data. HTML only handle the markup language like the text, alright, like all these things. The data is handled for now is our Chart.js JavaScript. Okay. Yeah, that's good. But don't worry, like in the beginning, you might cannot see the bigger picture. Okay, but always everybody that beginning into something, they always cannot see the bigger picture. Slowly, one by one, then you can have better idea. All right. Can we add interactive element like hyperlink to news? Oh yes. Yeah. Okay. June, July, and don't forget August. That's a very long name. Huh? Can we add interactive elements like hyperlink to news? Yes, of course you can. But adding interleave links is not Chart.js. It's just HTML or JS. Okay, what I'm focusing now is just the chart, how to generate a nice line chart like this. Maybe you can have a bar chart or you want to combine few, all right? For example, but make sure the most important thing is the theory behind visualization. Okay, so in my class in data science, right, I teach data science. So I'll show the student, okay, what kind of data is supposed to be a line chart? What kind of data is supposed to be a pie chart or bar plot or histogram? So without understanding this knowledge is quite not that useful. You understand all these tools. Right? Maybe you know how to do HTML, how to do a Chart.js, but if you don't understand this data supposed to be a line chart, then you can have a. So the graph doesn't display for mine only text. Does this mean I have to download the cloud? No. For me, I also didn't download. Can you see or not? I would like to answer Siu Yen Chong. I just provided this link here. Did you link this? This link. Okay, if it's only text, how about this? Okay. But for me, I just link like this. Maybe we can troubleshoot this later, lah. But if you look at my side, I didn't install. I just maybe some setup. Okay, never mind. I'll troubleshoot for you guys later, lah. But for me, it's sufficient if you just use this link. If you do not install, right? So is it the all this thing is correct? Did you link your script? I don't know. I need to see your code to troubleshoot. Sorry, yeah. Canvas ID manager. All right. So later after this webinar, you just message me, and I help you to troubleshoot where is the problem. Is that okay? All right. So never mind. We continue back with our chart. Where is it? Yep. Here it is. All right. So you can just play around with few things like this, or you just want to look into recovered cases, or you want to show the confirmed cases. Okay, all right. So you can see lah. So line chart is very useful to show a trend. Okay, you want to show something is increasing, something is decreasing, then line chart is the most suitable one. All right. So that's all for my webinar for today. So the basic, I'm always interested about data science and what are the tools or the latest tools that's available for you to use. All right. So let's go back to our slides again. All right. where is it? So I already discussed on the step 1, step 2, step 3, right? Step 4 already done. And finally, I would like to say thank you very much. So I'm actually very happy and to see all of you participate in this webinar. So it shows a lot of effort you're taking to learn new knowledge. That's very good. That is something to be proud of. All right. So just some introduction about what we are doing in FICT. All right. For those from Utah, I think you know FICT, but not those not from Utah. I'm from FICT, Faculty of Information and Communication Technology. So I teach data science course. Right, data science course is a part of Bachelor's of Computer Science program that we are offering, right? So if you ask my student or in this course, I always expose them to visualization too. For this semester, they're learning about ggplot too, right? So if it's Python, you're going to learn about Seaborn and also Chartjs. To explore more, you can just click the link and you're going to have more information about our program, all right? So if you have any question, you can just chat with me now. All right. If you don't have any question, you can contact me later personally using I think I have my contact information, right? So you can just contact me there. And later, I will host this file into the GitHub so that you can just follow lah. All right. So if you don't have any question, thank you very much. And thank you again. And I will see you in next webinar. Happy weekend.